the president of Venezuela. They're calling him a dictator. They're calling him a dictator. So Colin Rugg, shout out to Colin Rugg. I follow him on Twitter. Goes Justin, Elon Musk accepts Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro's challenge to a fight. And when you thought the 2024 couldn't get any crazier, Maduro, Elon Musk, whoever messes with me dries up. Whoever messes with Venezuela dries up. Elon Musk. You want to fight? Let's have a fight. I'm ready. I'm not afraid of you. Let's go at it. Wherever you want, just say where. Musk, I accept. He will chicken out. This is crazy.
Quien se mete con Venezuela se seca, Elon Musk. ¿Quieres pelea? Vamos a darle, Elon Musk. Estoy listo. Soy hijo de Bolívar y de Chávez. No te tengo miedo, Elon Musk. Vamos a darnos, pues. Donde quiera. Como decimos en Caracas, en los barrios. Si tú quieres, yo quiero, Elon Musk. Di dónde. Elon Musk, quien se mete conmigo, se seca.
Spoken from the Venezuelan Presidente Nicolas Maduro. Supposedly he is then not doing the kindest things down there. Let's go check out a video here talking about Maduro's. CBC News. Let's go see what they have to say.
There are widespread and growing protests in Venezuela. People who swear up and down that Maduro was crushed in this weekend's election.
Vengo aquí a la calle, queremos libertad, ya estamos cansados del gobierno, queremos el cambio, queremos ser libres de Venezuela. Y eso da mucha tristeza.
¿Por qué le da mucha tristeza?
Porque por lo menos ya los familiares de uno están pensando en irse.
3 separate Venezuelan polling firms had him far behind this month. He's the runner-up in each case here, sometimes only barely ahead of not sure. And on election night Sunday, the opposition said their man had won with more than 70% of the vote. But in an authoritarian country like Venezuela, that's not enough.
The Maduro-controlled National Election Authority declared him the winner with 51%.
51%.
51%.
51%, just barely a majority. Virtually every state apparatus in Venezuela is controlled by Maduro's party, and its head elections authority has made it very clear. Nicolas Maduro won, just like he won in 2018 and just like he won in 2013. But many world leaders, Chile, Mexico, Uruguay, Argentina, Peru, Costa Rica, they reacted the way the United States reacted.
We have serious concerns that the result announced does not reflect the will or the votes of the Venezuelan people.
The will or the votes.
That's like crazy. Secretary Lincoln, like for him to say that, that's like wow. And for all these Latin American countries to all come together and go, yeah, this don't seem right. This don't seem right at all.
That's about as close as Blinken could possibly have gotten to saying this election was rigged. Let's explore how and what it would take to reverse the outcome. It was clear from the start this would not be a free or fair election.
I don't think anyone was ever under the impression that these were going to be free and fair elections. The question, I think, up until last night was what other steps the government might be willing to take to make these elections less free or less fair.
The opposition leader, Maria Corina Machado, was barred from running at all. That ruling came from the country's Supreme Court, which is stacked with Maduro loyalists. She still tried to campaign for her replacement, Edmundo Gonzalez, but on her travels, she would find highways and gas stations mysteriously closed along her route.
There's just this constant sort of trickle of harassment. I mean, everything from bus drivers to taxi drivers to restaurant workers to roadside stand, sellers that attended to her have been harassed and arrested.
And it wasn't just
That's not cool at all. There's a this reminds me of the recent show that's dropped on Amazon Prime. It's Jack Reacher. I think it's the second season. If you watch the second season of Jack Reacher, there's the whole season is reflective of what we're seeing right now down there in Venezuela. I don't remember what country that was in that, or it's like based off of that, or that was in that show. But it has the guy that's from the one of the Bad Boys movies. He plays the Colombian cartel guy. That guy plays in this. Regardless, or he plays in that show that I'm talking about. He plays the president. He would be the Maduro guy. He plays the president and that, and it becomes a whole thing. But there's like a senator that gets assassinated or something, which draws a lot of attention. Obviously that hasn't happened down there, but it's drawing a lot of similarities to that, because it becomes a thing where the person of the people, like, she has the people behind her. She's running for president, and it seems to have like a similar opposition. This guy, like a Maduro guy, who doesn't believe in fair elections, and he wants to control. And he does whatever. He does very similar things that this gentleman is bringing up. I'll put up a little link of that at the end of this. Let's go.
Machado, her staff was targeted too. More than 70 opposition campaign workers arrested just since the start of the campaign a few weeks ago, according to one human rights group. But Machado pressed on. And the setbacks continued. Closer to election day, Venezuela revoked an invitation to EU election observers to monitor the election. Maduro, angry about international sanctions, called those observers not worthy. And on the day itself, the opposition said its witnesses were denied access to the headquarters where votes were being counted. Only a small group of observers were allowed at all, some of whom are now calling on the government to release.
I want to fix that real quick. It's not Reacher. I got that mistaken with Jack Ryan. Jack Ryan is Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan. I'm going to put that up here just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. Yes, the season 2 has a similar kind of situation that we're seeing here in Venezuela. Let's get back to it.
Release polling station level results, which it has so far refused to do.
For some reason, they're not publishing that data, and of course, that does not look good.
The end result, 51% of the vote for Nicolas Maduro, just 44% of the vote for his opponent, Edmundo Gonzalez, who would later tell his supporters, Venezuelans and the entire world know what happened. This was devastating for those who thought this time would be different. They felt robbed. And it's important to underline how desperate for change many people are from life under Maduro. Despite sitting on top of one of the world's largest proven oil reserves, Venezuela has been an economic mess. It grappled with one of the worst hyperinflation crises in modern history. Prices going up 53 million% over just...
That is insane. That is insane. 53 million%. That's like unheard of inflation. Bruh, that's like, I think they were saying like the cost of bread was like through the roof. Through the roof. And then I seen videos of the Venezuelan people. They're like throwing their money away, like into the garbage, because it means nothing. That's insane. Now, if that was like in the United States, we'd be over there like grabbing the money. We wouldn't be throwing that away. Yeah, right. Throwing money away. I mean, we're throwing money away in our own different ways, but like not literally like that. That's literally, there was videos of them throwing their money in the garbage because it just means nothing. Because the inflation is so high, their money is like minuscule. They would need to make trillions and trillions of dollars to be able to like have like a decent living, man. It's crazy.
It's a 3-year period. Just to buy chicken cost whatever this amount of money is. Unemployment, poverty, malnutrition, shortages of basic goods, they were all daily problems. More than a quarter of the country's population has fled just in the last decade alone. That's nearly 8 million people, making it the largest displacement crisis in the world today.
The country has changed since the last elections, and the opposition wants to win so that the Venezuelans that have left can come back.
Any hope of that changing hinged on Maduro being voted out.
It is a shame that quite likely, almost certainly, the Maduro government violated their trust in those institutions.
Shout out to CBC. I'm not gonna take away from their good, great reporting. We're gonna watch, or actually, we're gonna pull up this article here. We're gonna go check this out. I'm gonna go it's over here. Boom, and then let's see. Let's get a little zoom in here. All right, so we're on pbs.org. pbs.org. Blinken has serious concerns. So, headline is Maduro asks Venezuela's Supreme Court to audit the presidential election results. So, this was earlier today. It's like 3 hours ago. Caracas, Venezuela. And this is by Regina Garcia Gaino, Associated Press. So in the Caracas, Venezuela AP, Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro said he asked the country's Supreme Court to conduct an audit of the presidential election after the opposition disputed his claims to have won and amid international calls to release detailed vote counts. Maduro told reporters Wednesday that the ruling party is also ready to show the totality of the electoral tally sheets. They're ready? Okay. Maduro insists that he won the election despite his main challenger Edmundo Gonzalez and opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, saying that they secured more than 2/3 of the tally sheets that each electronic voting machine printed. After polls closed on Sunday, the opposition figures said that the release of the data of those tallies would prove Maduro lost the election. Pressure has been building against Maduro. The National Electoral Council, which is loyal to the ruling United Socialist Party of Venezuela, is socialist. I don't like that. That doesn't sound good. Has yet to release any printed results from polling centers as it did in past elections. That's really suspect. Venezuela in a political standoff after both Maduro and opposition claim election victory. His close ally, Colombian President Gustavo Petro, on Wednesday, joined other foreign leaders in urging him to release detailed vote counts. That's crazy. The Colombian president is like, bruh, we need some proof, bruh. We can't go on the word of mouth, my man. A day earlier, another of Maduro's allies, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, along with U.S. President Joe Biden, called for the immediate release of full, transparent, and detailed voting data at the polling station level. Wow, that's crazy. President Joe Biden's like, bruh, come on now. Where that? Where are the receipts? Machado said that the vote tallies the opposition has obtained show Gonzalez received roughly 6.2 million votes compared to the 2.7 million for Maduro. That is widely different from the electoral Council's report that Maduro received 5.1 million votes against more than 4.4 million for Gonzalez. Hold up. So Machado said that the vote tallies the opposition has obtained show Gonzalez received 6.2 million. That's crazy. Said this blew this fool out of the water. That is widely different from the Electoral Council's report that Maduro received 5.1 million votes, more against more than the 4.4. Wow, that's insane. The serious doubts that have risen around the Venezuelan electoral process can lead its people to deep, violent polarization, which is what they're going through now, with serious consequences of permanent division. Petro said Wednesday in a post on social media site X, I invite the Venezuelan government to allow the elections to end in peace, allowing a transparent vote count with the counting of the votes and with the supervision of all political forces of its country and professional international supervision, he added. Petro proposed that Maduro's government and the opposition reach an agreement that allows for the maximum respect of the political force that has lost the elections. The agreement, he said, could be submitted to the United Nations Security Council. Wow, so they got to submit that to UN. I don't know. I don't really trust them either. So, like, if they're doing something like that, like, the UN needs to get involved and, like, really. This is where I would probably, like, actually say yes, the UN needs to be involved to, like, get this figured out. Like, who actually won this legitimately? Who is telling the truth? And who won? Because it seems like this Machado lady deserves to be the one in the seat here. And this Maduro, I don't know. It's no bueno. No bueno, mi amigos. No bueno. We continue. So Venezuela was the world's largest proven crude reserves and once boasted Latin America's most advanced economy, but it entered into free fall after Maduro took the helm in 2013, plummeting oil prices, widespread shortages, and hyperinflation that soared past 130,000%. That's insane. That's insane. Led to social unrest and mass immigration. Immigration. That's crazy. That I can't even speak. That's insane. They're not immigrating. They're immigration. They're migrating out. They're getting out of there. Oh man. More than 7.7 million Venezuelans have left the country since 2014, and the largest exodus in Latin America's recent history. Many have settled in Colombia. Speaking to reporters in Vietnam on Wednesday, the European Union's foreign affairs chief said that the bloc won't recognize Maduro's claim of electoral victory without independent verification of voting records. So they should have been provided immediately, as in any democratic electoral process, Joseph Borrell said. Wow, this just keeps going. Yo, we need some justice here. I'm gonna go tap in. I don't want to read this whole thing. I'm gonna leave this link in the description below. I want to figure out who's gonna win this. Like, who won it? Who won it? Like, who won it? So my whole thing is, I don't want to just like skip by everything, but I want to get to the nitty gritty here. This whole thing is like the nitty gritty, but what's going on right now? Protesters were arrested in a nationwide demonstration Monday, which is like the breaking news. That's like there was all these people protesting. There's folks getting shot and everything like that. It's insane. The Venezuelan-based human rights organization Foro Penal also on Tuesday reported that 11 people, including 2 minors, had been killed in unrest related to the election. The Organization of American States was set to gather Wednesday to discuss Venezuela's election. Maduro's closing ruling party allies quickly came to his defense. The National Assembly President George Rodriguez, his chief negotiator in dialogues with the U.S. and the opposition, insisted Maduro was the indisputable winner and called his opponent violent fascists. That's crazy. You're calling these these poor people that just want some freedom in their in their country fascists. That, like, the folks who don't have the guns, who is not out here, is insane. They're calling these folks fascists, but not the folks that have all the guns and the powers. And I'm hearing all kinds of stuff that they're doing with these voting like machines and this and that. It's insane. It's insane. They need some justice over there. Praising the arrest of the protesters, he said Machado should be jailed and so should Gonzalez, because he is the leader of the fascist conspiracy that is trying to impose itself in Venezuela. In a Spanish language post on X, the EU's Borrell urged Venezuelan authorities to end detentions, repression, and violent rhetoric against members of the opposition, calling threats against Gonzalez and Machado unacceptable. Meanwhile, Machado and Gonzalez urged their supporters to remain calm and avoid violence. I asked Venezuelans to continue in peace, demanding that the result be respected and the tally should be published. Gonzalez said on X, "This victory, which belongs to all of us, will unite us and reconcile us as a nation." The Associated Press writer Ella Joyner in Brussels, contributed by Regina Garcia Cano of the Associated Press. Shout out to them. We need Venezuelan libre. We need to be liberated. I am with the Venezuelan people that they need freedom. We need answers here. They need to figure out what's going on and who is the rightful winner and to be the president of Venezuela, because they need some changes. They need to get that inflation down. They need to be feeding these people. These people need to get their jobs. They need to be paid right. All of that other stuff. They need their medical help, and they need a government that loves and cares about the country enough to get these people on the right track. Get some loyal folks, some freedom. Get some freedom in there. Get some real true justice there. It's insane. Shout out to the folks in Venezuela. I hope you get your justice, folks. Do we have any videos? Do we have anything else on that? I think that's it. Here's the deal, folks. I'm going to do part 2 tomorrow. We got a few more stories to go over. I hope everyone enjoyed the live stream. If you did, please consider hitting the like, share, and the subscribe button. We went over a bunch of different things today. It's just insane, the stuff that's going on in the news here. We went over the Korean Jean-Pierre border czar thing with Kamala Harris. We went over the Venezuelan riots and the stuff going on in Venezuela there. We went over the Donald Trump speaks to the National Black Journalism Convention. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah, very interesting stuff going on. We still have to go over the issues going on in the Beirut attacks and the Iranian attack that happened in the past 24 to 48 hours. As of today is July 31st, 2024. We still have to go over the Sonia Massey body cam. We'll do that hopefully for the next live, or we'll have a separate one. And then the Star Wars Outlaw and the failed Trump assassination. We're going to be going over that for the next live stream. Also, we do have the Nick Merckx Sneeko Moist Critical. We're going to do our reactions for that, and then the Paris Olympics for the next live stream. So folks, if any of that entertains you, or if you find any of that interesting, definitely tap in. Let me know what you folks think in the comment section below. Consider hitting the like, share, and the subscribe button. If you want to see what else we're doing on other platforms, hit me up at KIWTB Gaming, and